Hi, everyone. Hey, all. This is Sarah Noah Block, founder of Tiny Marketing, and this is our weekly show where we give you actionable advice that you can implement today. Today, we're going to talk about how to simplify managing multiple blogs. Who is this for? This is for the agencies, the freelance writers, businesses that have multiple brands or products where they have multiple blogs, and content groups that create and manage blogs for multiple businesses, products, and brands. And I'm super passionate about this subject, and I have a special guest even on my solo show, Roman, the founder of Kamiak, and he is going to show us a solution for managing multiple blogs in one spot. It's honestly the first time I have heard about a platform that allows this, and I think it's a game changer for a lot of us out here. But before we go into that, I am going to talk to you about the beginning of the process, how to build out an editorial calendar so you can really plan out multiple blogs all at the same time. So I'm going to share my screen real quick so I can show you some things, some little educational pieces. All right, so first, I wanted to show you this. I like to create content calendars at least a quarter in advance so I can plan out my sources, my resources to actually publish those blogs, but also align them with any events or PR that's happening around that same time. Or maybe there's a certain cadence with the services or products that you offer, and it makes sense to publish a post about modular construction in March when construction starts to move up. So planning out your blogs ahead of time. I like to use a Google Sheet because I use the different tabs where I have each quarter individual, and then I keep the content clusters so I can stay focused on what really matters for my audience. And then I can also do my content audit all in the same spreadsheet, and everybody can have easy access to everything that they need for content in the editorial process. And next, I want to show you this. I want to show you my checklist in Trello. So one second, don't mind me as I am pulling up my Trello board. You guys have seen this many, many times, and the Trello board I'm showing you right now is actually for myself. This is my card for my live stream process, and it's a long process, but what I want to show you is that when you're working with multiple resources for a blog, you can create a checklist and actually copy that checklist onto each individual board. So let's say you're writing a blog about how to simplify blog management, top of this live stream. You can add the regular process to that card, and then you can go through it, assign the right person to each one, and provide due dates. Everybody has transparency. There's a system in place, and it makes it a lot easier. And if you guys remember from my live stream, I think it was 2 weeks ago, you can see what is assigned to you over here in your card section. Okay, next, I am going to bring on Roman. Hi.
Hi.
And I want you to tell everybody about Kamiak. I'm going to pull it onto the screen, and I'm going to pull myself off so you can introduce yourself and the platform all on your own, and you can see it a lot better.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Sarah. Yeah, so I'm Roman. I'm Roman Heindorf. I'm a founder here at Kamiak. We've been going since about 2012. And we got started really because we had a group of freelancers that we were trying to organize for a publication back then, and it was tricky. So we were doing a lot of spreadsheets and Skype and WordPress plugins and all sorts of things like that. And so we built our own sort of system, which was really basic at the start, and it grew from there. And we started working with a lot of journalism programs actually out in California who had students coming through the process, and they needed a quick way of kind of plugging in. So basically zero onboarding, essentially. Here's your login, and you'll find everything else you need. And so we built really around that experience that it should be super straightforward for writers to get up to speed. And that played quite well with some agencies that we then started working with, and now we kind of focus on brand newsrooms. And like Sarah pointed out earlier, like the managing of multiple sites from one consolidated team is something that we're all doing all the time. We do it, and we work with a ton of people that have one kind of core workflow or a few workflows, and then that pipes out to maybe 10, 20 different clients or platforms that they manage. So really, you can see my screen, and this is the dashboard. When you log in, you get kind of a to-do list on the left-hand side. These are all the assignments that you should be looking at right now. And we know that because when you get started in Kamiak, you can plot workflows to decide how you want to sign off on content. So when you start, let's say, any piece of content, whether it's an assignment, a blog, or an email maybe that you need to edit, something like that, any kind of content, you would then plot a workflow around that sort of describes exactly what your ideal sign-off process looks like, whether that's involving your clients or potentially your own internal team. It might be just a one-step workflow where everything comes through you, but it's completely scalable, so you can have this be as long or as short as you need it to be. And each one of these is actually a position. So you can invite people to these different positions, and it kind of parachutes them into that place in the workflow. So as assignments move from left to right, they will be notified at the right time. And when it drops into their inbox, it'll appear here on this left-hand side like it does for me. And then on the right side here, you've got all the activity that's going on in the different desks that you might belong to. And so once you've got your workflow set up, you would then invite your contributors. And if you're inviting sort of writers one by one, that's totally cool. You can do that. And it's really straightforward just to basically pick the positions that they should have in each one of the desks. So for example, if you've got writers that only work on some of your content, you could invite them to those specific desks to be on those workflows. And when you send them an invitation, they'll get notified by email. They can click and sign straight up that way. And they'll actually, if you want to, you can prompt them to sign an agreement with you that will all be automated. You can also upload a list of contributors. If you've got a bunch of folks that need to be invited to the same positions all at once, you can do that instead. And that's a really nice way of getting, we've got some folks that have, literally thousands of writers that they upload this way. And I was saying about sort of the contributor agreement. So you can set budgets for what you want to pay your writers or what your monthly budget looks like, and upload an agreement that will then, they'll be prompted to sign when they first log in. And they'll also be prompted to connect their bank account. So when an assignment that they've written has been approved, usually within about sort of 12, 24 hours, they'll get paid via your payment method, whatever that is, if it's a credit card that you're using. And usually that gets passed on to the client if you're working for a client that's doing this. And so once they're in, your writers, they would then be able to pitch new ideas. You can set up templates so that when they're pitching their ideas, they're making sure to include specific criteria that you've asked for. You can have a bunch of different pitches depending on which desk they're pitching to. You also get an email address, kind of generic one that if anybody emails that, then that'll generate a pitch in your Kamiak account that you can decide to work with or not. And yeah, pitches end up in here, and you can then sort of comment on them and give feedback and maybe turn them into assignments. You can also create assignments from scratch. So you could pick one of the templates that you're working with, or you can convert a pitch into one of those same types of assignments. Let's go blog post, and then pick a slug. That's what we call, that's the title for the assignment, basically, or the identifier. And then you can set a word count if you need to. That'll just prompt the writer to stay on course. You can confirm what the fee will be if there is going to be one. Connecting it to other assignments, that's a really easy way to kind of reference two or more assignments that may share media or might be part of a series together. And that's just a kind of behind the scenes link that won't get pushed anywhere. And then you can pick who should be doing the work. So usually if someone's pitching an idea, you'll be assigning them, but you can change that if you want to. You can also offer an assignment to a specific desk. So you can say, everybody from the blog post desk, we want that to be available to all those writers for the first one to claim. And then it'll be a reminder of what the workflow looks like on this desk. So you can see, that it'll go through me before it gets approved for publishing. And you can change the desk if somebody belongs to a bunch of different desks. Obviously, you can pick the right one. And then you've got some chances to set some deadlines. So you can set a first submission deadline, and that will keep the writer on track for submitting their first draft. And then you've got a bunch of different publishing destinations. If you connect to, let's say WordPress, you can connect to as many WordPress sites as you like. Even with our free plan, which we launched a couple of weeks ago, you can have, 10, 20 WordPress sites all connected really easily. And you can then pick the destinations that you want to push to and select some sort of publishing destination dates for that place you want to push your approved content to. And this will kind of form your calendar. So then you get like a combined editorial calendar of all the stuff that you're working on all in one place. And I don't think I have any assignments in here, but this is kind of what your assignment will look like, your calendar will look like over time. And up here, you've got those filters to decide what you want to see, which destinations you're pushing to, which desks are doing the work. And you can drill down and see a specific writer's workload, for example, if you want to see what they're up to, if you're managing busy writers. And then you've got some other things. Once you kind of get up and running with that, staff performance is a good place to kind of keep track of all of the places, the assignments that you're signing off on, and how many words everybody's writing and how many files they're uploading. And you can export this as well. So you've got like really solid reporting basically around what people are doing. Now, when you go to
reporting real fast.
Oh, what's that?
Would you go back to the reporting real fast?
Sure.
So you're able to pull, okay, like reporting on the writers and what they're up to sort of manage their workflow.
Yeah, so this is, it's kind of everything that's been approved will appear under this, in this table here. So it's kind of for, if people aren't using, if you're not paying folks through the system, you don't have to. So this is a good place to just keep track of all the work that everyone's done. And then you can export this on any given time frame. So yeah, this is completed work. For kind of in progress work, you can go to people's profile pages, or you can go to, let's say, a desk, and you can see what stage each assignment's at in that process. So this is the workflow. Basically, it goes from writers to editors, and then we've got this assignment here waiting at the editor stage.
Okay.
You've got some things like instant messaging, so you can chat with writers or other editor colleagues when you're in here. And what I wanted to show you was actually this is kind of the place where you can also save your content. So when you've assigned something to somebody, they would actually file it directly in here, so they can paste their work in and or write it directly. And you can kind of keep track of revisions, so you can track changes and all that good stuff here, and keep track of the sort of editing flow. You can assemble all your media, and and put that in here as well. And then you've got, again, like a comment thread that you can keep track of feedback. And when this is ready, you would approve it to any one of your platforms, connected platforms. So let's say in the case of WordPress, when you push through an assignment, it will be, it'll come across looking like as if you've composed it in WordPress. So there really isn't any difference. You can set featured images and tags and categories and all that kind of thing. It takes about sort of 2 minutes to sync up to your site, and then you can just keep on adding more destinations as you go. And we also have an API, which is also part of the free plan, that you can use to connect to other destinations if it's not a direct WordPress one.
Yeah, I think this is so useful for those people that are managing multiple blogs, and it's a good opportunity for content agencies to add an add-on if they are currently just doing copy to manage that blog. They could do it simply with this platform.
Yeah, and we get a lot of kind of referrals from folks who kind of bake Kamiak into their offerings. So they'll have it as a line item, basically, as part of their pitch to brands. They'll say, look, we'll come, and when they don't know necessarily how long they'll be working with the client for, they'll say, look, do you need help with editorial process? And we'll get on a call with them sometimes and help them sort of streamline what they're doing, particularly if they're looking to scale, or if there's an in-house team that's trying to grow and they brought, let's say a consultant on, or an external editor, and then we kind of come with that editor to help sort of institutionalize some of these best practices, or at least leave them with an infrastructure that then the editor can work with and kind of head up, which is, really cool. And so they get like a consulting opportunity to streamline their editorial process. Exactly.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I think that this will be a great benefit for all of my people that are managing multiple blogs like I do. And can you tell everyone before offer that you just launched?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to our site, kamiak.com, and you can get started. You don't need a credit card or anything. You can just sign up for a free account, and you get pretty much all the features. You can manage unlimited writers, connect to as many WordPress sites as you need. And then if you need more editorial sign-off positions, so if you've got multiple people in the workflow, or you want to scale up to having more desks, let's say, or more active assignments, I think there's quite a few in there in the freemium tier anyway, so it might take a while to get to that point, but then that's when it goes into a paid version. And just give us get in touch with me if you've got questions about that pricing, because it's kind of a jump. We've got freemium, and then we work with sort of really big newsrooms, so there's lots in the middle. So if you've got an idea around how it's going to work for you,
custom pricing then for people if you reach out.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's an awesome opportunity. I think that I'm really excited about this platform. Personally, I think that it'll be really helpful for I've managed multiple blogs for my entire career for 12 years, and I know what a pain it is to have to deal with logging into multiple platforms and making sure that everything that workflow is duplicated for every single client. And this is a way to be able to have that all in one place.
Awesome. Thanks very much for helping us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. So, as you can tell, I'm pretty excited about that, and I dig it. Now I want to go into automating your promotion for blogging. So if you are the type of agency or an in-house marketer or content creator that doesn't just do the writing, you're also doing the management and you're also doing the promotion afterward, then this next part is for you. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can automate all of this. First, we're going to start with my favorite automation technique of all, Meet Edgar. I'm going to share my screen and show you exactly how you can automate that really quickly. So share. Sorry, I have a lot of tabs open. It took me a second to find the right one. Okay, so this is Meet Edgar, the import section. So as you can see, you can import lots of different ways into Meet Edgar, and it creates beautiful posts right off the bat. You hardly have to do any editing at all. But I tend to, actually, some of these are brand new. So I'm going to be adding my YouTube channel to this. That's a nice add-on. And same with podcasts. I dig that. Okay, but now I'm going to focus, and I would say connect blog. Connecting your RSS feed is the first thing you'll want to do from there. And what it'll do, and I literally just accepted all of mine yesterday, of course, but I'll show you how it works. So it'll send it to, it'll send it to library actually. And I set it up so it goes to pending content and it doesn't post right away. And let me see here. Let me see if there's any that I can. Of course not. I will do this one. Okay. So you can see these are all in pending. And what I can do is I can approve or reject right off the bat. Or I can go into it. I can choose what media I want. I can go to suggest variations and it'll create additional posts for me. And then all I have to do is hit save. I can say use once or expire, or it'll just keep recycling if I don't do either of those. And I would put save and approve, and then it will automatically start populating all of my social media for me. Any of these platforms that I click and any variation I create automatically. I love it. Next, I am going to talk about automating it through email marketing. So there's a couple different options for automating your blog promotions through email marketing. There are MailChimp and HubSpot. I know both offer RSS emails for blogging. I personally like creating original email content for the blogs. I don't love how it just like pulls up the summary or the meta description, an image, a URL in those blogs. It might look fine, but I don't know. I like original. So what I tend to do is I will write up a little blog promotion and put it in the email, and then I'll duplicate it and then add that duplicate into a nurture campaign on the same topic. So let's say I just produced a blog on email marketing. We'll just talk about that since that's what I'm talking about right now. I produced the blog on email marketing. I will create an original blog and publish it in real time to promote that blog. And then I'll duplicate it and add it into a nurture workflow. So it will automatically send to any of my subscribers that are also into email marketing. So they're only going to be getting relevant content. But if you want to automate that a little bit further, you can go with an email marketing platform that pulls RSS feeds and create the blogs for you and sends them automatically when you publish a new post. Super easy. And another option is batching parties. So it's a tool, but it's more of like a system tool. It could be fun. Well, one, Meet Edgar has batching parties every month where you can go on it's like a group online party where you create all of your content for that month at one time. You can get with other entrepreneurs that you're friends with and batch all of your content, your email marketing, your social media, blogs for the entire month. I know some entrepreneurs that make it really fun. And what they do is they get a hotel room and they meet up with some of their other business friends, and they do all of their batching over a weekend. That's, fun. You're doing, and you can write it off if you own a business. So you can make creating the content fun. And then last, systemizing. You always want to create content and promote it with your stakeholders in mind. So if you mentioned anybody in the blog that you're promoting, if you have leadership team that would want to be included in the promotion, make sure you email anybody you have mentioned or anyone who has any sort of stakeholdership in that piece. Email them and tag them in all of the social, and that will get a lot more eyes on your content. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Next week, I have Michelle Trusmer. She is a digital marketing consultant who's going to teach us how to get more with less content, my very favorite topic. Thanks for watching, and if you liked what you saw, follow me on social. I'm Sarah Noah Block, literally everywhere. Subscribe to YouTube and sign up for our weekly newsletter that goes beyond the stream. And it takes what we learned today and takes it a step further. To sign up to that, go to sarahnoahblock.com/newsletter. It's also on the bottom of the screen. And then the last thing today, if you missed the news, today at 12 p.m., in literally 30 minutes, 12 p.m. Central Time, the Orange Squad is hosting a webinar called Tending Your Creative Garden with sales and podcasting expert Pat Helms. Go to theorangesquad.com/event to sign up. And I'm going to pull that up real quick so you can see what that looks like. Okay, right here. The Orange Squad, this is the jam session that they are having today. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Pat Helmers is a genius podcaster, so good at sales, and he's also a good gardener. So he's going to talk about how to use gardening to really activate your creative juices. It's going to be really interesting. You can sign up right here, theorangesquad.com/events, and it's in 30 minutes. So hop to it. Thank you so much for joining me. Mwah, mwah, mwah. All right, I will talk to you next week.